Hello everyone, my name is Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. It is now February, the month of Valentine's Day, which is why I now have this really cute garland with hearts and it's red, and I'm also wearing a red shirt and red eyeshadow. So I'm really excited to share my February TBR with you guys. I'm also going to talk about the contemporaryathon that is happening this month. I will include all of the information for that down below, including who is hosting it and things like that. So I do not have a ton of books on this TBR because basically the entire second half of February into the very beginning of March, I'm going to be out of town. I'm actually doing a gig in Joplin, Missouri, where I'm going to be in an opera there. So basically what I'm planning to do this month is I'm going to pre-film a ton of videos before I leave. I leave on like the 15th or 16th of February. And then as far as like my reading plans for like the entire second half of the month, I'm just bringing my Kindle with me and I think I'm just gonna mood read. So this TBR stack that I have next to me is mostly books that I'm going to read in the first half of the month, but there is one book that I plan on bringing with me to Joplin. So without further ado, let's just get into it. The first book on my TBR is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. This is the 7th and last book of the Harry Potter series. As you all know, I have been doing a reading vlog series basically documenting my experience rereading these books for the very first time, so I will link that reread playlist up in the cards, and I'm really excited about this. I think what I'm going to end up doing though is reading this and filming the vlog for it in like the first week of February, and then edit it and probably upload it in the later half of February when I'm out of town. Yeah, there's not much to say other than it's Harry Potter, it's the final book. I am just so excited. And the next book I have is Capturing the Devil by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the 4th and last book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. I am also planning on reading the novella, I believe it's called Becoming the Dark Prince, either in a couple of days when I finish the book I'm working on, or maybe when I'm in Joplin in the later half of February, and I'm going to bring this book with me to read while I'm there as well. This has been kind of a hit or miss series for me, to be quite honest. I enjoyed the first book, didn't absolutely love it, but I really loved the second book, Hunting Prince Dracula and Escaping from Houdini. I read that like a week or so ago, and I will be talking about that in my end of January wrap-up. I didn't love, to be quite honest. I think I'm settling on like a 3-star rating for this, so I'm really hoping that this final installment just pulls everything together and makes me love the series all over again, because I do think that there are components of this series that I absolutely love and enjoy, but I have had issues with some of the execution of like Escaping from Houdini specifically, and Stalking that Jack the Ripper could have been done a little better as well. But yeah, for the most part, I have been really enjoying this series. For me, the characters of Audrey, Rose, and Thomas are totally what sells this series for me, so I'm very excited to see how their story ends up in this final book. That's really it for my general TBR. Now I'm going to talk about the contemporaryathon. So I have my bullet journal right here. Don't know how well you can see it, but basically, this is happening from February 10th to the 16th. You can bet your butt that I'm going to be doing a weekly reading vlog for this, and I will also edit and upload it while I'm away. There are 7 challenges. The first one is a book with green on the cover, and for that one, I'm going to be reading Call It What You Want by Bridget Kemmerer. As you can see, there are a ton of green hearts on this one. This is, I believe, the 3rd book in her Letters to the Lost companion YA romance series. I absolutely adored the first 2 books in this series. I will link my favorite books of 2019 video because I talked about both of those books in that video. So just to read the blurb on the inside, it says, "Is it okay to do something wrong for the right reasons?" It says, Rob lost everything when his dad was caught embezzling funds from half the town. His friends, his status at school, even his family. Although his father's suicide attempt failed, the dad he knew was gone. Then the other character is Megan. It says, Megan was the typical overachiever until the pressure got to her last year. And when her sister comes home from college pregnant, keeping up the appearance of the perfect family might be too much for Megan to handle. I'm just so excited to read this for the contemporaryathon, and I have a feeling that this is going to be another 5-star read because I seem incapable of giving any of Bridget Kemmerer's books less than 5 stars. The next challenge is new to you author. That can be literally any of the books that I'm reading except for one of them, but most of the books on this TBR are from authors that I've never read from. The next one is Diverse Contemporary, and for that, ooh, I'm so excited. I'm going to read On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I found the audiobook for this off of Hoopla, which is so amazing because I've heard that the audiobook is definitely the way to go with this book because it has to do with a teenage girl who's a rapper, and so it's really cool to listen to the lyrics actually rapped by the narrator. So this one says, 16-year-old Bree wants to be one of the greatest rappers of all time, or at least win her first battle. As the daughter of an underground hip-hop legend who died right before he hit big, Bree's got massive shoes to fill. But it's hard to get your come up when you're labeled a hoodlum at school and your fridge at home is empty after your mom loses her job. So Bree pours her anger and frustration into her first song, which goes viral for all the wrong reasons. I am so pumped about this one. I read The Hate U Give finally last year, and that ended up being one of my favorite books of 2019 as well. I just have a feeling that this is going to be another amazing book from Angie Thomas. The next one is Backless Contemporary. That's, I think, all of these as well. I think these were all published in 2019 or earlier. The next one is a dark or hard-hitting contemporary. So for that one, I'm going with Now Is Everything. This one is by Amy Giles, and this is a book that has been on my shelves for over a year. When I first heard about it, I knew that I wanted to buy a copy for myself. The inside cover says, be the smartest, be the best, and be invisible when necessary. Hadley Macaulay knows that's how you survive in her household. So she's the perfect student, perfect athlete, and perfect daughter, all to keep her father happy and off her little sister Lila's case. The Macaulays look perfect on the outside, but nothing is ever as it seems, and this flawless family is hiding a dark secret. So there's more to the synopsis, but I don't want to spoil anything for myself or for you guys. I'm so looking forward to reading this one. I have a feeling this is going to be a really powerful and hard-hitting book, and I'm just really looking forward to it this month. So the next one is Book with an Illustrated Cover. I'm going to count On the Come Up for that. And then the 7th challenge is Contemporary Book that is beloved by a member of the book community. So for that one, I'm going with To All the Boys I've Loved Before. This is by Jenny Han. I'm actually contemplating just binging the entire trilogy. It's a series of 3 books during the Contemporaryathon because I have all the audiobooks off of Audible Escape, so that'll be really easy for me to get done. This book specifically is really beloved by Mayana from Mayana Reads. I will link her channel up in the cards below. She recently posted a video of her favorite all-time romances, and this was pretty much at the top of the list. And I've also been looking forward to reading this series for a while because I do want to be able to watch the Netflix movies. Lara Jean keeps her love letters in a hat box her mother gave her. They aren't love letters that anyone else wrote for her. These are ones she's written, one for every boy she's ever loved, 5 in all. When she writes, she can pour out her heart and soul and say all the things she would never say in real life because her letters are for her eyes only. Until the day her secret letters are mailed, and suddenly Lara Jean's love life goes from imaginary to out of control. I really love that premise, and I've just heard some really great things about this series as a whole. That's it for my Contemporaryathon TBR, and that's actually going to be it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you guys are participating in Contemporaryathon as well. I am always so excited to do this readathon because it really encourages me to read, especially YA contemporaries, because I've definitely been neglecting that genre lately, and you guys probably know I've been more into like sci-fi and fantasy, so I love that this readathon forces me to read books that I know I'm going to love, but it's also a genre that I know I've been neglecting. So with that being said, I would love it if you guys would like this video and if you would consider subscribing, and I thank you in advance if you do. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!